Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on February 2, 2023. Like being on a roller coaster, the man who caught Sicily's last mafia boss. The Guardian, former girlfriend of mafia boss quizzed by police for helping him as love letters found. The Mirror, Matteo Messina Denaro, police question mafia boss lovers. Russia-Ukraine war at a glance. What we know on day 344 of the invasion. George Santos, news. FBI probes claim Santos stole GoFundMe dog money as campaign finance scrutiny mounts. The Independent, FBI investigating George Santos' role in dying dog GoFundMe scheme. MSNBC, FBI interviews veteran who says George Santos took money intended for dying dog. The Independent, FBI looking into alleged GoFundMe dog scam by Representative George Santos. George Pell, mourners and protesters clash at Cardinal's Sydney funeral. BBC, protests at funeral of Australian Cardinal George Pell, Al Jazeera newsfeed. Al Jazeera English, shame on the Cardinal Pell funeral protesters. The Spectator, Pell burn in hell, clashes break out at funeral of Cardinal accused of child sex abuse. The Independent, Cardinal George Pell, protesters and mourners clash at funeral of Australian. North Korea says U.S. drills push tensions to extreme red line and threatens overwhelming nuclear force. Sky News, Korea says U.S. drills pushing situation to extreme red line. Al Jazeera English, Pyongyang slams plans by Washington and Seoul to expand joint drills in region. CNA, North Korea says U.S. drills threaten to turn region into critical war zone. Reuters, North Korea shuts door on U.S. talks, raising risk of provocations. Air pollution causes chess players to make more mistakes, study finds. El Salvador opens 40,000 inmate prison in war against gangs. Sky News, El Salvador's president orders world's largest jail to be finished in 60 days. The Times, Terrorism Confinement Center, El Salvador opens new 40,000-person prison. The Irish Times, El Salvador opens 40,000-person prison as arrests soar in gang crackdown. I knew I wanted to stay here for the rest of my life. How London got its first LGBTQ+ retirement community. US seals crucial military deal with the Philippines close to China flashpoints. Sex, lies and video cams. Andrew Tate turned women into slaves, prosecutors say. Alex Murdaugh trial, live. Alibi in doubt as videos place him at murder scene and reveal different clothing. The Independent, live. Alex Murdaugh's murder trial continues. Reuters, phone forensic expert returns to the stand in Alex Murdaugh trial. ABC News, a video that could undermine Alex Murdaugh's claim he was not at scene of killings is expected to be played in court as soon as today, source says. CNN, Alex Murdaugh trial, live. Prosecutors point to murder motive after Snapchat video reveals different clothing. Ukraine war, Russia planning the 24th of February offensive, Ukrainian defense minister says. Ukraine EU membership, no shortcuts on joining, officials warn ahead of summit. Ukraine war, 80 years on, we are facing German tanks again, Putin. BBC, Russia-Ukraine live news, Putin slams Germany over battle tanks. Al Jazeera English, Russia again threatened by German tanks, Putin says at World War II commemoration. France 24 English, Russia again threatened by German tanks, Putin says at World War II commemoration. Pakistan mosque blast, bomber used police uniform as disguise, official says. BBC, Pakistan mosque bombing survivors traumatized but undeterred. Al Jazeera English, suicide bomber who killed 101 in Pakistan mosque disguised himself as police. Evening Standard, Imran Hussain MP speaks on Peshawar mosque bombing. Telegraph and Argus, what is behind the rising violent attacks in Pakistan? Tyre Nichols, updates, funeral renews calls for police reform after Memphis offices past complaints emerge. The Independent, funeral of Tyre Nichols in Memphis hears demands for police reform, BBC News. BBC News, Tyre Nichols' family demands policing reform bill at funeral. BBC, yes, these police videos are awful to watch, but we must not look away. The Independent, Tyre Nichols' death shows us the police are not always telling the whole truth. Mike Pompeo, China wants world dominance and is a bigger threat than Vladimir Putin. Sky News, Mike Pompeo is desperate to look tough, but his new book proves H is timid about tackling Trump. Qatargate, 2 MEPs lose immunity in corruption case. BBC, EU Assembly lifts immunity of 2 lawmakers linked to scandal. The Independent, EU bribery scandal grows as 2 more MEPs face Qatargate probes. Politico Europe, corruption scandal, MEPs lift Cozzolino and Tarabella's immunities. Euronews, NGOs, collateral damage from Qatargate, Euractiv.com. Ukraine News, live, Putin amassing 500,000 troops for major new offensive, says minister. The Independent, how would F-16 fighter jets aid Ukraine against Russia? The Guardian, Macron draws Russian anger with absurd comments about fighter jets. The Telegraph, letter, how France's fighter jet Philip can bolster Zelensky. Financial Times, Russia-Ukraine war live, Poland open to sending fighter jets to Kyiv, says PM, MEPs to discuss EU membership for Ukraine. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.